Imagine this for a second. The EC2 instance running your application suddenly crashes, just goes totally down. What exactly happens to the data on it? Is it just gone forever? Well, that terrifying question is exactly what we're tackling today.
Welcome to the classroom, everyone. Today, we're going to learn everything there is to know about a truly game-changing AWS storage solution, Elastic Block Store, or EBS. We're going to build this up from the absolute basics right through to the advanced stuff and keep it super simple along the way.
Here's our game plan for today. We'll start with the basics in architecture, move into the different volume types and when you'd actually use them, do a quick hands-on demo, cover some crucial best practices and common mistakes, and finish up with a fun pop quiz to test your memory. Let's dive right in.
All right, let's kick things off with Section 1, Basics and Architecture.
Simply put, EBS is essentially a plug-and-play network-attached drive for your virtual computer. Think of it like plugging a USB flash drive or an external hard drive into your laptop. Even if your EC2 instance gets stopped or completely terminated, the data on your EBS volume doesn't go anywhere. It stays completely safe and sound.
Now, let's look at a really important comparison, EBS versus Instant Store. Instant Store is what we call ephemeral storage, meaning it's temporary. If your instance stops, poof, that data is completely wiped out. But EBS on the left, that is persistent. You can reboot, stop, do whatever, and your data survives. Oh, and just a quick side note, if you ever need shared network storage across multiple instances, that's where EFS comes in.
Okay, let's move on to volume types and real-world uses.
So, there are 4 main types of EBS volumes you'll run into. Generally speaking, the SSDs at the top are built for random read and write operations, perfect for your web servers and everyday apps. That includes GP3 and IO2. On the flip side, the HDDs at the bottom are for sequential data, like massive log files or big data processing. That's your ST1 and SC1. Let's break these down a bit more.
The difference between these two SSDs is absolutely crucial. For about 80% of what you do, GP3 is your default go-to choice. It's cheap, but it gives you fantastic, scalable performance. But on the right, IO2, that's the premium tier. If you're running heavy, mission-critical banking databases that absolutely need guaranteed sub-millisecond latency and insane durability, IO2 is the undisputed king. Now looking at the HDDs. On the left, SC1 is a throughput-optimized drive. It's incredible for big data, Hadoop clusters, or streaming data like Kafka, where you just need really fast sequential reads and writes. On the right, SC1 is your cold storage. If you have data you rarely ever look at, but you still need it around, SC1 is literally the cheapest block storage you can get.
All right, enough theory. Let's jump into a hands-on demo. Creating a volume in the AWS console is honestly so easy, it's almost surprising. Imagine we're looking at the console right now. First, you just head over to the EC2 dashboard and click on Volumes on the left side. Then, hit Create Volume. Pick your type, let's say GP3. Choose your size, and pick your availability zone. Once it's created, you just select it, go to Actions, and click Attach Volume to link it to your EC2 instance. Boom! Done.
So we've got our data stored, but what about backups? That's where EBS snapshots come in. A snapshot is basically a point-in-time backup of your volume, and it gets safely tucked away in Amazon S3. The really cool keyword here is incremental. That means you only pay for the blocks of data that have actually changed since your last backup. It's an amazing money saver.
Want to make a manual backup in the console? Super simple. Just select your volume, click Actions, and select Create Snapshot. Make sure you type in a good, meaningful description and add some tags so you know what it is later. Then just hit Create Snapshot, and AWS handles the rest behind the scenes.
Now, if you're an advanced user, here's a neat trick. You don't even have to click through the console. You can use the AWS command line interface. Just run this single line of code, and it does the exact same backup job instantly. It's a real time saver once you get the hang of it.
Next up, let's talk about best practices and mistakes.
I want everyone to pay a close attention to this one because it's a huge mistake I see all the time. People are still out there using the older GP2 volumes. The problem with GP2 is that your performance is hard tied to the size of the volume. Do yourself a massive favor and upgrade to GP3. It's literally 20% cheaper, the baseline performance is predictable, and you can upgrade without any downtime. It's a total no-brainer. Let's run through a few more pro tips. Manually creating backups is a recipe for forgetting, so always automate your snapshots using AWS Data Lifecycle Manager or DLM. always use descriptive tags so your environment stays organized. Remember to clean up and delete old snapshots so your S3 bills don't go through the roof. And finally, every once in a while, actually test restoring a volume from a snapshot. You want to know it works before disaster strikes.
Awesome job. We're at the final section, summary and pop quiz.
Before we test your knowledge, let's do a rapid-fire recap. EBS gives you persistent block storage for EC2. For almost everything, GP3 is your cost-effective default. Need heavy database power? Use IO2. Got sequential or cold data? That's ST1 or SC1. Snapshots give you cheap, incremental S3 backups. And lastly, automate everything and tag your resources. Okay, ready for the quiz?
Quiz question 1. Which EBS volume type is best for a critical production database that requires guaranteed provisioned IOPS? Take a second. If you said IO2, you hit the nail on the head.
Quiz question 2. If you stop your EC2 instance, what happens to the data stored on an EBS volume versus an instance store? So, the data on your EBS volume survives perfectly safely, but the data on that instance store, it's permanently wiped out.
All right, final question. Quiz question 3. What AWS service should you use to automate the creation and deletion of your EBS snapshots without any manual intervention? Got it? The answer is AWS Data Lifecycle Manager, or DLM for short.
Fantastic job today. You've officially mastered the basics of EBS. You know your volumes, your backups, and your best practices. But think about this. Now that you have all this data, how do you actually secure it across different regions using AWS KMS encryption at a massive scale? Well, that is a whole other fascinating puzzle, and the perfect topic for your next learning journey. Until then, keep exploring, and we'll see you next time.